You've almost reached the end of the OWASP top 10 for large language models, the last two vulnerabilities, which are also a part of our step 15 to learning AI security. Now, these two are misinformation and unbounded consumption. As the words speak for themselves, misinformation relates to the model actually hallucinating and giving you responses which are not great or which are misguiding you in one way or the other. Even though you may think that misinformation may not be a security risk, right? Why are we calling it a security risk? I'll give you one example. So the OWASP top 10 for large language models mentions a scenario where few developers use coding assistants which are AI powered, right, which are basically backed by some models. Now these coding assistants that are being used sometimes spit out the names of libraries that are actually unknown or do not exist because the model is hallucinating. But what the attackers actually populated those libraries, made them available, and put malicious content in there. Now, next time when a developer asks about, let's say, a particular library and the model or the coding assistant is recommending, they are actually downloading the malicious one that the attacker has created for them or that the attacker has created for any other developer. So, basically, misinformation is maybe your model is producing output that is not desirable, that is not in line with your input, or your model is, like I said, hallucinating to give you misguided response. Now, second is unbounded consumption, and that is very much clear and self-explanatory. For example, you do not want to exceed the number of calls that could be made to the model, right? Or the cost per model usage may get exceeded if you make too many requests to the model. So these the DOS kind of scenarios are what would come under unbounded consumption. Read more about these two from the OWASP top 10 for large language models. I will link it in the description below and share your learnings as well. And in the end, like I always say, happy learning and follow for more. I will hopefully in the next few steps, we would now look at few examples to better understand all of these different attacks that we covered in the past 10 steps or past 8 steps. Thank you. Have a good one.